Naruto Uzumaki, the loud, boisterous, ramen-loving ninja who dreamed of becoming Hokage and saving everyone. A beacon of hope, friendship, and perseverance, right? But what if that wasn't the story we got? What if, instead of Masashi Kishimoto, the narrative baton for Naruto was handed to Hajime Isayama, the mastermind behind the brutal, unforgiving, and utterly genius world of Attack on Titan? Today on iTalkAnime, we're diving deep into the darkest what-if scenario. What if Naruto was written by Attack on Titan's creator? Get ready, because the Hidden Leaf Village would never be the same. So what does a Naruto by Isayama even mean? It means embracing the core tenets of Attack on Titan. Unrelenting brutality where no character is safe and death is a constant companion. Moral ambiguity, where heroes make terrible choices and villains have understandable motivations. Existential dread, where the world is cruel and the true enemy isn't always who you think. Twisted cycles of hatred, passed down from generation to generation. And a complete deconstruction of shonen tropes where nothing is sacred and everything is questioned. Let's start with Naruto himself. His childhood as an orphan, ostracized for housing the Nine Tails, Isayama would amplify that isolation by 1,000. Imagine Naruto not pulling pranks for attention, but genuinely struggling with an inner monster that constantly threatens to overwhelm him. The villagers wouldn't just glare, they would fear him. Mob mentality would be a terrifying force, always on the brink of violence against the Jinchuriki. The Nine Tails wouldn't be a misunderstood ally. Kurama would be a destructive, nihilistic force, constantly whispering cruel truths and trying to break Naruto's spirit. Naruto's power-ups wouldn't be triumphant. They would be torturous, desperate attempts to contain an uncontrollable power that could obliterate him and everything around him. Think Eren's Titan form struggles, but even more psychologically intense. Now Team 7, forget the warm, fuzzy bonds. Sasuke's obsession with vengeance would go far beyond what we saw. Itachi's truth wouldn't just devastate him, it would shatter his reality, turning him into something monstrous. The curse mark wouldn't be a tool. It would consume him. Redemption? Unlikely. Maybe a tragic death, or he lives on as a cautionary tale. Sakura wouldn't be sidelined. She would witness the true horror of being a ninja, making impossible medical calls, watching comrades die, developing a cold, hardened shell just to keep going. Her growth would be born from trauma, not motivation.
And Kakashi? He wouldn't be the cool, aloof mentor. He'd be a broken veteran, overwhelmed by the ghosts of Rin and Obito, bitter about the system he serves, barely holding it together while trying to guide a team that could implode at any moment. His Sharingan? Not a badge of honor, just a painful reminder of loss. The Hidden Leaf Village itself would be a much bleaker place. Not a peaceful home, but a fortified military state constantly on the edge. The 5 great nations would be fragile powder kegs, always seconds away from war. Child soldiers wouldn't be a trope, they'd be a cold, hard reality. The entire shinobi system would be exposed for what it really is, a machine that turns children into weapons. Even the role of Hokage would be questioned. Are they protectors? Or just powerful figureheads maintaining a violent status quo? Jutsu wouldn't be flashy powers. They'd be horrifying tools of destruction. Shadow clones wouldn't be comic relief. They'd be temporary, semi-conscious entities aware of their short existence. The Rasengan? A brutal, bone-crushing orb. Even the simple act of fighting would be presented with horrific consequences. And the cost of using these powers? Severe. Permanent. Often fatal. And then there's the Akatsuki. In this version, they'd be less flamboyant and more terrifyingly real. Every member would have deeply tragic pasts that explain, but don't excuse, their extreme actions. Pain's plan to bring peace through suffering? It would make horrifying sense. You might not agree with him, but you'd understand him. Obito wouldn't just be mourning Rin, he'd be escaping from a reality too painful to bear, building a fake world because the real one broke him beyond repair. Zetsu would be a parasitic horror. Orochimaru, a true madman, unbound by any ethics, running experiments that would make even the Ninja Council flinch.
Kaguya wouldn't just be the final boss, she'd be the embodiment of eternal war, a mythic terror representing the never-ending cycle of violence. The Otsutsuki? Not just aliens, cosmic forces indifferent to life. And then, the ending. There would be no celebratory feast, no coronation of Naruto as Hokage. At best, Naruto achieves a sliver of peace, at an unbearable cost. Perhaps he sacrifices everything to stop the cycle of hate. Or maybe peace is achieved, only to show the seeds of war growing again in the next generation. The message? That peace is fragile, perhaps impossible. Or maybe, just maybe, Naruto fails, dies trying, and leaves behind a legacy that serves only as a warning. So why would we want to see this? Why would anyone trade the hopeful Naruto we love for a tragic, cruel version?
Because sometimes it's powerful to see our heroes tested in ways that expose the truth of their world. A version of Naruto written by Isayama would be the ultimate shonen deconstruction. It would force us to rethink what strength, friendship, and peace really mean in a world built on endless war. This isn't just a grim hypothetical. It's a profound thought experiment that drills down into the core of what makes a narrative impactful. An Isayama-directed Naruto would strip away the comfort zones, forcing both characters and audience to confront the harsh realities of their choices and the relentless nature of conflict. It would explore the psychological toll of continuous warfare, the weight of a world built on sacrifice, and how even the most unwavering hope can fray under constant existential threat. We would witness the deep-seated despair that could lead someone like Pain to such extreme conclusions, or the quiet agony of a Kakashi who has truly lost too much. It would be a story that doesn't offer easy answers, but instead presents a mirror to the darker aspects of human nature and societal structures. The villains might not be evil, but products of a broken system, just as the heroes might be corrupted by the very power they wield. Such a narrative leaves an indelible mark, making us question our own definitions of heroism and villainy, good and evil, and whether true peace is an achievable dream or an impossible fantasy in a world constantly tearing itself apart. It pushes the boundaries of conventional storytelling, daring to explore the consequences of an unyielding reality. And this is just the beginning. Imagine a whole what-if series, My Hero Academia, where quirks are deadly mutations and society collapses under its own ideals. Pokemon, where trainers are battlefield generals and the creatures are both companions and casualties. The anime world is full of these possibilities. So, would you watch a darker, crueler Naruto? What anime would you like to see reimagined in this way? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this dive into the darkest timeline, make sure to like this video, subscribe to iTalkAnime for more mind-bending anime content, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss the next one. Until next time, stay awesome!